All right, here we go.
Same as in the house. Same as it's in the house. So. There we go. Okay, the duties of a chapter chair. Preside over the chapter meetings, of course. Ensure the chapter meets at least once a month. Use parliamentary procedure, which is something that we will go over, because I've seen a lot of chapters that just say, second, okay, let's move on. No, there has to be a hand raised vote, okay? Prepare an agenda in advance. Get everything in order so you're not chatting amongst the chapter officers during the chapter meeting. Definitely make sure that everything can be completed in a certain amount of time. Ensure that democratic process is followed. Same thing with the parliamentary procedure. We want everybody to vote, okay? That needs to vote. You know? I will get into it more. Act as a representative as needed with local, state, or national agencies, landlords, and media unless otherwise designated. Please get a hold of us before outreach before any media is involved, okay? Be it a good thing or a bad thing, okay? All right. So, parliamentary procedure. This is where I come into it a lot in houses. When you guys go into houses, make sure that you check that they are voting on things. Not just, I'd like to make a motion that we get sugar for the house. Second, let's move on. No, that's not the way it's done. We need a vote from everybody in the house to vote on these things. And is it listed in the secretary notes of the chapter what the vote is?
Speaking
Okay?
so bad.
Who made the motion? Chairperson cannot make motions. They can entertain a motion, but they cannot make motions themselves. Okay? Got that? All right. Chapter officers do not vote. They do not vote. If you're a chapter officer, let's see. Where's Ricky? Hey, Ricky. Suppose the chapter officer is the president of the house. Can they vote then?
You're not supposed to, no. Okay, so your chapter officers are a trusted servant. Your chapter officers are not governing bodies. So the minute that you allow your chapter officers to vote, you make them a governing body. You understand what I'm saying?
They're supposed to let somebody.
There you go.
You can maintain your chapter position, but you need to have somebody else coming in your stead from your house to represent and vote for your house.
Got it? Thank you. Just wanted to make sure everybody knew that. Okay. One vote per house. Some chapters choose to vote people into different positions with the entire chapter voting. That's not really fair either. It's one vote per house because if everybody from one house comes and they bring 12 people, the vote is going to change, right? Yeah. So what you need to do is have one vote per house, and the president is voting for them or whoever's filling in. 50-50 vote is a failed motion. That does not pass. You need 51% of the vote for any motion to pass. Okay? Require hands to be raised for voting to ensure accurate count for meeting minutes and for the chapter secretary that has to list that. Okay? Motion, second. The way it's done in the parliamentary procedure, there's a motion page. I'd like to make a motion for a chapter to buy lunch for us at the chapter meeting. And you hear it second. There's a discussion. This is what the chapter chair will say. Is there a discussion? and then the vote will be taken. Because some people might say, why we don't want to have lunch? Well, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, and we don't want to eat lunch at that time. And we feel it's a waste of money because the people who bought it will take it all home with them, whatever. We want to have lunch because it brings us closer together, sharing unity time after the chapter meeting, okay? Not during the chapter meeting, right?
Right.
Duties, work closely with all the chapter officers. I know some of my chapters meet outside the chapter meeting just to get things straight on the same page. They bring up ideas, they work with each other. Make the chapter flow, let's put it that way. So you need to sit down with the chapter treasurer when they are doing the audit. Just like in the House, when you have the comptroller and the president sitting there, you, the co-chair, the head of the HSC, will be sitting there doing the audit with the treasurer. These are the things that you took on when you voted, when you ran for chapter chair, okay? Act as a mediator along with housing service chair and or vice chair in any house dispute if you are called upon. So usually I have to go through the chain of command here. So when a house needs help and they reach out, they will reach out to the HSC chairperson. Or, I mean, if they only have the chapter chair, all the other. But the HSC committee is the one that goes into the houses. If you're asked as a chapter chair, you can go to the house too. Always make sure to bring somebody, right? Periodically visit houses along with the house's service chair. So, you'll want to go through, I too, sometimes, I do go through the houses once a year just to check on stuff. Things you want to check on, is the house being kept? Are there holes in the walls? How's the deck? Do we need to talk to the landlord about fixing some stuff? That's dangerous to the house, you know? That you would be the contact for that, reaching out, okay? Attend every state association meeting as a representative of the chapter. We know you can, possibly you have something going, but make sure that somebody is there in your place to represent your chapter, okay? Whether it's the HEC or that's kind of why we have a co-chair, right? So you don't miss any meetings. I know they're all over the state, but another thing we signed up for. It's fun getting together like this. This is only what? Not even half the state here, with 18 chapters that we have here. So, give a report each chapter meeting of all what you did over the month. Whether you visited houses, whether you dealt with some problems. If you tell the chapter how you solved the problem, it might not go that way. Maybe the house can solve it, right? Because there's a lot of different things that go on in Oxford House that you will be called upon to help out with. And what you want to do is make sure that it's reported on in chapter. All right, I don't know, some of the houses do, some of the chapters do, some of the chapters don't have an expense list. Like if a person is, chair is going to a house or something, they can vote to give them gas to go there. And the way that's handled is it's filled up before you go there, fill up again. So you do have an expense or things that you need for chapter. Maybe you're buying the lunch for your chapter, things like that. But you need it voted on before you do it, okay? Right? Make sure it's voted on before you go spend money on the chapter and come to the chapter and say, I want this money because I spent it on this. It needs to be voted on. beforehand. Chapter meeting. Stick to the agenda. Stick to the agenda. Bring a stick to the agenda, right? Here's a list that you go through at every chapter meeting. We want it uniform, so you go through it the way it's presented. This is the Oxford House model. We want to follow it. Limit discussion, even on the heated subjects. We don't want these debates, discussions getting out of hand. Okay? What do you call?
Ghostbusters.
Hey, that's what I just said.
Now, point of order. If it gets out of hand, point of order. Reel everybody back in, okay? We want to stay on topic, whatever the topic is, not let it get out of hand, okay? Only one representative from each house can vote at the chapter meeting, usually the house president or his representative, okay? Everybody knows that, right? Make sure you're voting, not just seconding the motion, okay? A limit of number of alumni may be allowed to vote if a majority of the chapter agrees. So before an alumni comes or anything, make sure it's okay with the chapter. You can vote alumni in to have a full vote, a half vote to break ties, whatever the chapter decides on, okay? But don't use it as a tool. Make sure this person is voted in before you ask them to vote for anything, okay? Don't do it in the same meeting. It'll look like you're setting up the vote, right? Stick to the 3-to-1 ratio. One voting alumni for every 3 houses on the chapter. So a house with a chapter with 10 houses, you could have 3 voting alumni. Okay? Got it? All right. Any questions yet? Yes.
At what point does the chair, or is it the chair's duty to determine whether or not the vote should be tabled until they bring it back to the houses?
Yeah, that would be up to the chapter. Yeah, I mean, as long as it's in the secretary notes, it should be brought up at the next chapter meeting, okay? If that's what you're talking about, they bring it back to the house and it comes back. Yeah, at the next chapter meeting, when they're reading the old business, you wanna make sure that after the old business is read, that you wanna say so, okay? For the new business. Okay. Come to the chapter meeting prepared. Side chat, things like I've watched a lot of chapter officers have their meeting before the chapter meeting starts. Please have it all set up where the flow goes through the chapter meeting. These are business meetings. These are not chat sessions where you make decisions for the chapter or want to understand, what another chapter officer is trying to put forth or what the house is talking about. You want to have the agenda prepared, whatever you're going to do. Stick to the agenda. Off-topic stuff, I've seen it flow off-topic. Stick to whatever's being brought up, okay? Limit cross-talking and off-topic discussions. Prevent excessive discussion on one subject. So I've actually seen chapters go on something for 45 minutes and it went nowhere. So please stick to the subject and let people have their say, but limit the time that they have to say it, okay? Nobody wants to be in a chapter meeting for 4 hours, right? Okay. Here's a big one. houses, but in our chapters. You have been voted in to be non-judgmental, not to play favorites, not to sway one way or another. You were there to run the meeting. Okay? Let the body make its decisions. Let the body make its decisions. I'm going to have I've been writing something on principles before personalities for about 3 years now. And I actually have the chance to do, how many of you guys are going to the state meeting? Or the state convention? State convention, excuse me. Okay, come see principles before personality. Encourage, have documented bylaws that explains chapter guidelines, including amounts for dues and fines. There should be a fine matrix, what you have for missing, putting your audits in, your HAR report. How much is the fine for not getting your email HAR reporting?
$100.
$100. So what I do as an outreach worker, I'll check out the list. We have privilege to be on the list. Some of you chapter chairs might do, I'm not sure. But I text my chapter chairs which houses haven't completed their HAR reports. So make sure they get them in and they're accurate, okay? Encourage houses to send new members to attend chapter meetings. I know that all of my chapters have voted to send the newcomer to 3 chapter meetings within 6 months. I don't know if you guys have that or not, but it kind of works. You want those new people involved, right?
2 out of 3.
What's that?
2 out of the first 3.
2 out of the first 3. That's good. Good. Good for you.
3 out of 4.
3 out of 4? Wow, that's great.
We got every member from Charles every 6 months.
That's amazing.
And the season members involved
So,
too.
Once every quarter.
get them involved. Introduce them. Introduce them at your chapter meetings. This is big for them. Being able to introduce themselves and kind of gets them open a little bit to what they're doing there, makes them listen more, you know, make a big deal about them being there, you know. So one of the things, maybe they'll get involved later, you know. We want new blood. We want new blood in the chapter officers. Here's one of the things that I learned being chapter chair. Everybody knows something I don't, right? Everybody knows something that I don't. And there's great ideas out there. We just got to pull it out, right?
Sure.
Understand the boundaries of autonomy. This is a big one too, right? So the houses are autonomous due to the model, right? How many of you guys have read the chapter manual? Okay. There is one out there. So make sure to read that. The houses are autonomous. That means they make their own decisions. We go in, if there's a problem or something, the only thing we do is make suggestions. Okay? We've been around for a while, we make suggestions. We do not make decisions for the house. Okay? And only if they break their charter rules should that happen. Okay? Then it's brought to the chapter. Okay? Lead with love versus dictate with force. It's huge. It's huge. Sugar always works better than hot sauce, right? Sugar tastes better than hot sauce.
Depends on what you put it on.
Make sure each house shows up a few minutes early and brings all their paperwork, right? Their check for dues already written with 2 signatures. I know lots of you guys have probably fines put in place that they're supposed to bring them. But make sure that the houses, you know, some of these houses have new people that don't remember that stuff, or the main person in the house that did it for years has moved out. So make sure that they bring these things. Housing summary report, completed and accurate. Copy of the most recent audit and bank statement. I see a lot of houses just turning in their audit without bank statements. Pen and paper to take notes. Let's face it, you guys. If you're not writing stuff down, how much of it gets passed on to the houses, right? How much of it gets passed on to the houses? So make sure that your house president, I brought all kinds of notebooks. You guys are welcome. I mean, bring that, pass out notebooks, you know? You can buy notebooks for every house president.
This is crazy.
So they can bring this stuff back to their house. Positive attitude, always. Yeah, we want a positive, not negative attitude, even when the worst of the worst is going on, right? So,
I got the point first.
chapter summary report. Checking account balance, savings account balance, petty cash balance, number of vacancies, number of relapses. There's more down here. Make sure that's filled out. Then you bring it to the state association meeting, and it's completely filled out there at the state, along with your Fed News check and a positive attitude, right? Yeah.
Sure. Where do I get some of those numbers from? And what goes on? Like the number of.
Where do you get those numbers from?
Please reach out to your outreach worker or Ricky Mogul will send that to you.
Ricky, send that to me.
So it says end of second month. End of second month. Those are really important. That at the end of the second month, that is what should be going. They're not a total. The only total is a total of 2 months at the end.
Correct. So make sure, I know some of the houses have, or some of the chapters have different times of the month that they meet, but it's always the month before that you're reporting it, okay? The month before that, not, I just got the statement in the mail, today is the day I'm gonna do it, right? So you wanna go a month or 2 months back, whatever, well, it's 1 month back, right? Okay? You can also get those numbers from the housing service reports that people turn in every chapter, right? How many relapses you had. Officer expense report. I don't know how many of you guys use these. A lot of the time we do it out of volunteer and keeping us clean and sober, right? But there is an expense report for chapter chairs, or possibly even your chapter has a lot of money, maybe even for some of your chapter officers and treasurers that has to go do books, or has to buy paper or whatever. You know, it has to help your fundraising person that has to print out flyers, stuff like that, okay?
What is C2 as the cost?
It's gotta be something tax-wise.
Travel to state meeting.
Yeah, C2. So, when you do travel to the state meeting, I'm gonna go through this. That's what I was talking about, was the chapter, you get expense report. Now, this is for what you get at the state association meeting, that you present to our friend Pat over there, right? So, who is the chapter, or the state treasurer? So, what you wanna do before you go to the state meeting is fill up your gas tank, okay? You go to the state meeting, you fill up again. That is the one you bring to the state treasurer, okay? That is the receipt you bring, that you will be reimbursed for.
State treasurer?
State treasurer, the state treasurer. That's when you're going to the state association meeting, okay? So, once that is done, then, well, of course, you're filled up. You go drive back home, fill up again, and bring that one to the chapter. okay? Along with your receipt for your hotel. Okay? Make sure that they have receipts for these things. Make sure that you're not getting a penthouse at the local, get penthouse suite. We want to keep it about $150 per hotel room, okay? You can get 3 nice places for that. That's what Outreach does. We get places that are cheaper, okay? Chapter reimburses the hotel and the gas. I'm gonna do it now. Point of order. Thank you. So, live by example, walk the walk. You guys are the face of the chapter. You need to be totally showing people what recovery is all about. Going to meetings. Call the house. Say, does anybody want to go to a meeting with me? Does anybody, show them that you're walking the walk, that you are in recovery, right? Oxford House is not a recovery program. It is a safe place to stay. Okay? Serve without governing. We are servants. We don't make decisions for the chapter. We don't manipulate. Well, maybe if it's for a good reason, but we don't say this guy's my favorite, he should be put in a chapter position. Let the body decide, okay? Never go alone. Always bring somebody with you. If you're going to a problem house or a problematic house, always bring somebody with you. That way we got another set of eyes, ears, and another set of suggestions, okay? Reach out for help. So, use the chain of command. If you have an answer or a question that you can't answer, don't be afraid to call your house closer and get that answer. A lot of you guys have been around in the Oxford House a long, long time, and you guys know it. But even as outreach, we run across stuff that we've never seen, and we have to reach out. So I know what's happening to you. Remain positive and upbeat. Oxford House. It's supposed to be fun, too, okay? If recovery wasn't fun, why would we do it? Right? Have fun. Is there any questions before we move on to the secretary? No. Any questions? Thanks, you guys. We're going to do moving to the secretary.